Listen and repeat. Run. Run faster. Run faster. I run every morning. I run every morning. She runs errands on weekends. She runs errands on weekends. They run to catch the bus. They run to catch the bus. Why do you run away? Why do you run away? I never run late for meetings. I never run late for meetings. How often do you run? How often do you run? Do you run regularly? Do you run regularly? What time do you usually run? What time do you usually run? Can you run a little slower? Can you run a little slower? Where do you usually run? Where do you usually run? Do you run alone or with a group? Do you run alone or with a group? I run to stay in shape. I run to stay in shape. I run when I feel stressed. I run when I feel stressed. Do you run with music or in silence? Do you run with music or in silence? Why don't you run with us? Why don't you run with us? She runs to catch the subway every morning. She runs to catch the subway every morning. He runs 5 miles a day. He runs 5 miles a day. He runs to school when he's late. He runs to school when he's late. Why does he run so fast? Why does he run so fast? She runs a small business. She runs a small business. We run a restaurant together. We run a restaurant together. Who runs this company? Who runs this company? They run a charity for children. They run a charity for children. He runs a coffee shop downtown. He runs a coffee shop downtown. She runs the household efficiently. She runs the household efficiently. He runs because he loves it. He runs because he loves it. They run their own farm. They run their own farm. She runs to clear her mind. She runs to clear her mind. They run to the store when needed. They run to the store when needed. Does he run marathons? Does he run marathons? Does she run every evening? Does she run every evening? They run their own online store. They run their own online store. He runs around the neighborhood every weekend. He runs around the neighborhood every weekend. She runs in the mornings before work. She runs in the mornings before work. He runs a YouTube channel about fitness. He runs a YouTube channel about fitness. I run for fun, not competition. I run for fun, not competition. They run a successful marketing agency. They run a successful marketing agency. He runs a tight schedule. He runs a tight schedule. They run training programs for new employees. They run training programs for new employees. They run workshops for beginners. They run workshops for beginners. She runs a blog about travel. She runs a blog about travel. Does he run on the treadmill or outside? Does he run on the treadmill or outside? She runs through the checklist before meetings. She runs through the checklist before meetings. How do you run your business? How do you run your business? I run a website about learning languages. I run a website about learning languages. Who runs the fastest in your group? Who runs the fastest in your group? What route do you usually run? What route do you usually run? He runs his team with discipline. He runs his team with discipline. How fast can you run? How fast can you run?
Thanks for listening. See you later.